So what are Democrats left with? Democrats are basically left with the Bernie Sanders wing. Bernie Sanders led an insurgency originally against Hillary Clinton in 2016, which wounded her for the general election. Then, of course, he ran again in 2020 and really threatened to take over the party until Joe Biden and the Democratic establishment mobilized Jim Clyburn and the heavily black Democrat electoral base against Bernie Sanders. And then, of course, he didn't run in 2024 because there was an incumbent, but he was very critical of Joe Biden for at least part of that race. And now he's out touring the country. The Bernie Sanders energy, Bernie's too old. He's not going to be the guy. But the Bernie Sanders energy is the insurgent energy inside the Democratic Party. Because the insurgent energy inside the Democratic Party is not a sort of administrative liberalism that is effective in its approach. It is full-scale class warfare. DEI is played out. And so they're going back from race Marxism or sex Marxism back to like the original Marxism. This is the direct.
There is no Marxism here, Ben. This is old school social democrat policies that arguably come before DEI. This is Harry Truman and Lyndon B. Johnson stuff, arguably FDR stuff as well. But consider Harry Truman and LBJ. They sent American troops overseas to fight against communism. They hated communism, but they were economically progressive here at home. The whole guns and butter thing of LBJ. So no, these people are not Marxists or anything close. They're economically progressive. They were socially progressive in some ways. And yeah, they hated Marxism and communism and understood that it was a threat to the United States. That's why they sent troops overseas to fight against communist countries.
Of the Democratic Party, this is where the energy is. And this is exactly what the Trump administration should be concerned about. Not in that Bernie Sanders and the AOC wing of the party are going to defeat Donald Trump. But if the Trump administration fails, why the Trump administration has to be very, very good at what it does. If they fail, the next thing up on the Democratic side of the aisle is Bernie. And whoever Bernie...
Probably Tim Walz is the next candidate because he's like 22, 23 years younger than Bernie, and he's got pretty similar politics. And he acts like a little bit more of a jovial, happy-go-lucky person than Bernie Sanders.
Taps on the shoulder, because it's not going to be Bernie personally. So apparently, over in Tempe, Arizona, tens of thousands of people showed up at a rally for Bernie Sanders. Now, again, big rallies are not a proxy for success. Mitt Romney held big rallies in 2012 and then lost to Barack Obama. But
he's correct about that. Also see Trump in 2020.
Right now, Democrats can't draw flies. Democrats are toxic. Bernie Sanders is going around and holding rallies, and literally tens of thousands of people are showing up. He's an 83-year-old, lifelong, useless leech on the ass of society. And tens of thousands of people are showing up to hear him and to hear AOC, with whom he is campaigning. So here's Bernie in Tempe, Arizona.
If we stand together, we can not only defeat Trumpism, but we can create the kind of great nation we know that we can become. Thank you all very much.
A packed house at Mullet Arena listened as Sanders and AOC underscored the need to come together and be united to fight against a Republican-controlled Congress and president.
Okay, so again, this sort of fight oligarchy. There is a class of people who are running the country, and they're evil and they're rich, and we need to tear them down to the ground. It runs in direct opposition to exactly the sort of abundance Democrat mentality pushed by Ezra Klein or pushed by Derek Thompson. But it is the thing that Democrats are animated by.
He is 100% correct, yes. The abundance thing is going to fizzle out. I think economic populism, economic progressivism is going to come to take over the day eventually, 2026, 2028. Yeah, it's not going to be Bernie Sanders as the nominee in 2028. It probably won't be AOC if we're being honest. I think the Democratic establishment is not going to let her get it, but there will be a lot more momentum. There is arguably a left-wing Tea Party forming here, and that's something that Kyle Kulinski, among others, have said. And it seems like Ben Shapiro, based on this commentary, would sort of agree. If you asked him, is there a left-wing Tea Party phenomenon going on here? He would say, yeah, there kind of is. Because in Ben's mind, Kamala Harris was too woke, and that's why she lost. I don't totally agree with that, but I do see what people on the left and some people on the so-called populist right, which don't really exist, but what they mean when they say putting economic issues at the forefront of your campaign is the most important thing, and social issues should not be put at the forefront of your campaign. They just should not. They are important, of course, but should they be put at front? I don't know. It could be bad optics. So yeah, Bernie Sanders understands the power of optics. He understands the power of talking tough on Wall Street, talking tough on the oligarchy, especially when Elon Musk, an unelected billionaire, the richest man on the planet, is heading Trump's administration and functioning almost as a shadow president. Let me know what you think about Ben Shapiro's commentary here in the comments. Like, comment, or subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to speaking to you in the next video.